Baby, I've been thinking about the things we said. Oh yeah. And maybe we'd be better off being just friends. Oh yeah. It's getting kinda obvious what you want from me. Only calling when you feel alone. You make promises, then you let them go. So if you just wanna have my body, you better go find somebody else.
Hey guys, welcome to the 5Fs to Love. You know, we're having a hot topic tonight. Online dating is like the number one thing that I think 80% of everyone globally is doing. Because right now, the concept of the idea of meeting someone publicly sometimes is not the best thing. And you can pretend to be whoever you want to be online, but when you meet them in person, it's a different thing. But I've also heard these fascinating ideas about finding your one true love online. And I guess for me, being a techie who's working on developing a dating app, I hope somebody does use my app to find our one true love. So tonight we're having a conversation with our community, our voice, the LGBT community, about dating online and what's really going on. This is going to be a hot topic. You already know who's already here. Jessie, what's going on? You look amazing in that orange. You're like a little hot tamale.
I put on makeup for you all. Because I knew the hot boys were going to be on. They were going to talk shit if I didn't. So.
Oh my God. I love it. So you know what? I can't even say by public demand. I just want to say, when you got two hot guys on a show, when both of them show up, it's like fire, right? Well, I shouldn't say it's like a blaze of fire. When one shows up, it's like a fire. So I just want to say, for all of those who's watching for the doctor, he's not on tonight because he has surgery first thing in the morning. And I know that's kind of hot, right? But you know what? Let me just tell you, you already know Smokey is here. I call you Smokey Scott. I'm not going to play with you.
Hi, how are you?
Scott, I just want to say, you're like, I told you, I can't take it. If I get one more DM from women about you, I'm over it. I just can't even deal with it. I've already told them. Okay. And so I just want to be clear. Now, folks, real talk, we have this amazing guest who's on tonight. And I just want to tell you, he's recently single himself. So you got two singles on tonight. So don't blow up my DM. That's all I got to say. Don't totally blow up the DM because I don't know.
Blow up our DM. Zaddy vibes.
Jeff, I just want to say, when I first saw you, you have like the best personality ever. And I see why people fall in love with you because you're just so adorable.
Thank you. My main priority in life is to have fun and to make beautiful things and surround myself with a circus of ideas and creative. And I'm very lucky that I can do what I do and be surrounded by people that support my weirdness and my eccentric lifestyle. And that's how I know Jessie.
I'm going to say it's not even weirdness. I think everyone has unique aspects about them that makes them amazing. And, I'm a little quirky. I don't think it's one thing people probably don't know about me. I have one of the largest African-American Barbie collections.
Wow.
I just saw one the other day.
Right? I collect the porcelain, the coutures.
That's a fun fact.
Honey, that's a fun fact about me.
I like it.
I love it.
Can I tell about the other fun fact? Christine does not cook. So in her neighborhood, there's a firehouse where the men are cooking all the time. Okay. And she says, and the other day we're just talking, like just out of the blue. She's just like, yeah, they're always cooking over there. So I just go up there and then they just fix me a plate. I'm like, what? Why are you single?
I'm giving out all of my information. And of course, Gerald, thank you so much for watching 60 is a New 40. Gerald Robinson. He says, looking good, Jessie. Gerald, you know what? You are helpful. So Gerald is 60 is a New 40. And I just want to say this week on our 5F's to Love network, he had the largest number of viewers in 24 hours. He had over 300 views on his podcast on Friday. So, Gerald, I want to thank you for tuning in and supporting our other cast members. I like to shout everybody out. Everybody watches across the brand. I like how you guys chime in to each other's show, right? All right, so listen, I'm getting right down to the business because you guys know, I really need to know. Like, Christine needs to know what's really going on. Honestly, because I hang out with Jessie, I kind of know what's really going on. Well, listen.
I give her all the details on gay sex.
That's a lot to keep up with.
It is. Trust me.
I
think I talk to Jessie more than I talk to anybody else via text or phone every day, 24 hours a day. It doesn't make a difference. We're just talking and it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, look, I'm hitting right in. So when you talk about online dating apps, is there a difference? Because I think a lot of people think there's different apps for LGBTQ community versus heterosexual community. Like, is it a different, or are they like, because I know Grindr is for everybody.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not? I can't get on Grindr?
I mean, you can. I don't know if you want to.
Look, I know it's not for
Do you have a
everybody.
penis? Do you have a strap on?
I can't get on Grindr? No. Okay, so what is the difference?
You can do whatever you want, but
I might not get what I want.
you might not get the result you're looking for.
I might not get the result.
There'll
So
be no
Grindr.
fun with food.
Okay, look, because I have to say that because a lot of people bring up Grindr. So, folks, so we're clear. If you're on the Grindr app and you shout out you're on Grindr, you're with the LGBTQ community. Just to let you know. So it's not for heterosexual.
This is so funny.
Right, and I think that's so hilarious because people shout out the Grindr a lot. So the thing is, so Grindr's one, but what's another one that people normally they don't know? So if you're watching, you're part of the LGBTQ community. Please take notes. We want to make sure you guys are matching with the right people where you want to go so you can meet your one true love. Because they're swinging apps. You don't want to be on a swinging app if you're not a swinger, right?
Well, I
don't want to do that.
I just recently discovered Sniffy. Is anybody familiar?
Sniffy? It's called Sniffy.
Let me write that down.
I know, right? Look, Scott, write that down. What is Sniffy?
So, I have this kind of crew here in Denver of these young bear gay guys that are, the cool kids. And on Sundays we get together and we'll meet up for tacos or pizza or whatever. And once again, surround yourself with youth because that's what really is running the world. They introduced me to Sniffies. So
Sniffies.
I'm going to leave this on the plate. Y'all can look at it later.
Sniffies. Okay.
So I got one question to ask. Sniffy is relevant to what?
They're sniffing around.
Okay.
For all kinds of freak. So
okay, I was relating it to sniffing ass, so I was close.
Well, that's part of it.
There's a lot of things you can sniff.
What else are you gonna sniff?
Well, there's listen, it's amazing. So there's a Sniffy on Sniffy. So there is a tribute to Sniffy on Instagram. I think it's called Sniffy Posts, and they post all the. So it's kind of like I'm here in Metro Denver, and then there is a 6'8" Asian guy, 4 doors down the road, 6'8", right? And he's looking for somebody who has. It's sometimes very specific. Pink.
Say it.
Well, no, I mean he's looking for somebody to wear his pink panties.
Oh, really? So basically,
it ain't sexual. There's no population.
I'm Asian and I have pink panties.
Well, and it's either
never wear them.
Jesse, you're not in Denver. Okay.
But I'm sure the Sniffies is everywhere. It's it's an app. But it's very. It's very what I liked about it was it's very to the point. Like if you got a kink and you're looking for somebody to foster your kink, Sniffies is the place. With Growler, everyone's trying to be a little more, with the filters and pretty, and they're projecting something. With Sniffies, it's straight to the point. I got a foot fetish and I want to be covered in chocolate. Or
I love it.
It's amazing. So it's not about sex. It's about an experience.
It's about everything.
It'll lead to sex. It'll all lead to sex, I feel.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what I thought was really great about it is it's very liberating. You know, we like to put ourselves in little sections on
Right.
Growler or on JDate or whatever. You know, with Sniffies, it's just straight up.
Here's the deal.
Yeah, and that's what makes it.
I love it.
Yeah, I
That's
just wanna
freaking
say-
brilliant.
Listen,
Jeff's whole facial expression is like, this is awesome. Like you're missing out if you're not doing it.
No, I'm
I'm getting on it when we're done tonight.
I've had a lot of
I was gonna
sexual experience in my life. I've done quite a few interesting things, at least once.
Next time I talk to Jeff, I'm just going to say, what are you sniffing?
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not on it. So they came over last Sunday. We ordered pizza. We were on. He's like, "You got to see this, Jeff." My friend Tristan. He's like, "You got to see this. It's called Sniffies." And I'm like, "Well, what is it?" He's like, "It's for anything." And it just takes what it does is it takes the whole idea of being so proper on a dating.
Okay.
It's just down and dirty, and it's fun. And if you follow the Sniffies thing on Instagram, so what people do is they're taking snapshots of their conversations with people and then posting it on Instagram, and it's.
Are you serious?
Like, you're gonna lose your when you start to go through the scroll. You're like, holy shit, this is brilliant. Like,
So all of this is happening on this app.
yes, I mean it's we're confined to our worlds of living in our little houses, and we have our certain friends, and we do this, but there's just this whole other world.
Love that.
I think that's what makes
Amazing.
it so freeing. We no longer you no longer have to be afraid of how you're feeling sexually.
Because now there's a space to talk about it.
That's when me and Scott were growing up, going to Menjo's, that's the only thing we had. Do you remember? Like we only had. Well, you did.
Yeah.
But
I've been to Menjo's bunch. They have is that the place with a ginormous penis, like the gold penis? That's like a bench.
Yes.
I never saw the gold penis.
I've been there.
But
Okay, so Jeff,
it's like huge.
When you think about Sniffies, what are some other sites, Scott, Jessie?
Would you say, Jeff, the two biggest mainstream ones are Grindr and
what are those?
Scruff and Grindr.
Grindr, Growler, which is their community for bigger men.
Okay, so let me go back. So Growler is for men who are heavier.
Right. So it has this bear quality within the gay community. Obviously, we have the muscle bears and the regular muscle guys and the twinks and the LGBT, and Growlers specifically for thick, heavier bear type men.
Jeff, did you see my hand go up?
Daddies.
Okay. So let me
has a fetish about noses. She has a nose fetish.
Okay, don't even start, Jess.
Jessie.
Don't even start. But guess what? My nose fetish has never steered me wrong. So what is a twink?
Twink?
A younger, 18.
Slim.
Yep. A little bit femme, kind of,
Okay.
Usually slim, pretty slim, right?
Slim, young, cute. I appreciate that. I appreciate it all. It's just not my gig. I like bigger, huskier, funky men.
I like that. Wow, Jeff was like, let me make it clear. If you're a twink, don't come over here.
Well, you can come over, but I'm not going to put it in you.
You're not going to put it in you. Okay, so Scott, you like a guy that looks like you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not exactly like me.
You have never dated a guy that looks like you. What are you talking about?
Are you talking about like hair and all that?
No, they're very pristine. Scotty's guys are very pristine.
That's what I mean.
Like body, hair, face.
Yeah.
But
I like darker, scruffier, kind of that dark, stormy look.
Dark and stormy.
Kind of like a little younger too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the last person I dated, you and I talked about this, Jessie, would not have picked this person out in a crowd. I'm like,
I know.
Totally.
He was very light.
That's my type.
Blonde. Yeah.
But then I was like, head over heels. So you just
really?
never know. So I think
you should have seen this ass though. The butt was like hello. I mean, shit. I would just I could go get some equipment. work that
Okay,
out.
guys.
But
You could bounce a
gonna
quarter off of it thing.
yeah,
Oh my God, I
For
knew this was
sure.
going to be a fun conversation.
And
So, guys,
I
we'll
like
be
the
right
complete
back.
opposite. The bigger the ass, the better. So,
The bigger the ass, the better.
That's
you know,
right.
I like a chunky butt.
To each his own, right?
Right?
And that's the thing. That's life is about finding what it is that makes you happy, you know, regardless. And that's one of the things. Yeah, you can't make a decision based on what other people think or feel. But you know what, guys? Give me one quick second. We're going to go to a quick commercial break because Jeff, I'm going to tell you right now. I learned more from you in these few seconds than I didn't know that I didn't know. Right. So now I'm with you 100%, guys. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Right on.
You make me crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. All I know about you, you like to pick and choose. Make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me. 'Cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me. 'Cause you're older than. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the 5Fs to Love tonight. We are doing our community, our conversations around online dating. You know, real conversation. If you're watching right now, share and like us. Why? Because we rock. This is a great conversation. Be sure to share all of this on your LGBT social media platforms. We would like more of you to join the conversation so we can have a real conversation around it. Jessie, make sure that while you're on, you're posting live, baby. People should be
oh, you're right.
Like you should be posting live. You should be texting. You too, Jeff. Now, Scott, I'm gonna let you go because Scott, no, I'm not gonna let you go. Jeff, I'm gonna let you go. But you guys need to be posting out your live watch on YouTube.
She doesn't mean letting you go. She means like.
Oh no, I'm never letting Smokey go. You know.
No, when I'm technically getting better, I will post. I'm gonna post this and do this because I know this show is like best we've done. Already, it's the best.
You said already it's the best. You know what? I don't even, Jeff. How do you take that? Like,
it's you, Jeff.
Well, you know, I've known Jessie forever, so at this point, you know, we don't.
He always knew my secrets. No, he always. You know, this is the thing about Jeff is.
You know, secrets are so damaging to your psyche and to everything that you do. You know, now granted, sometimes being so, and Jessie, you know this, being so open about who you are and what you do is not accepted or a turnoff or perceived as
judged.
Right. At this point, I don't give a shit.
I don't either, and honestly, and you know,
I'm too old. I always think honesty, straightforwardness is the best way around it. You're going to offend people because it's not necessarily polite. But I go to bed at night thinking, well, you know, at least they know the truth.
Right.
So,
yeah, and I'm never trying to embarrass anybody or talk out of turn or whatever. But I just decided at this point in my life, I'm gonna be truthful about me. If your name is Jane and you and I fucked around and while I was married or whatever, I'm not gonna talk about your name per se, but I'll talk about my experience. And I just feel like it's at this point in my life that I know who's who. Like these two men in my life have always been a constant. And no matter, and Jeff and I haven't talked as much because he doesn't live here, but no matter where I was in the world, one time I was like out of the country, no matter where I'm in the world, if I say, hey, I need you, he's like, bitch, where you at? What you need? That's him. And Scotty, the same thing, always.
And I think when you look at relationships, that's what it's about. It's not about judging people for whatever space they're in. Like you were talking about sniff, and that's one of the things I think overall, people have a lot of different needs within a relationship, but they don't want to talk about it publicly. And I'm okay with that. But make sure that you find a way to fulfill that need so it doesn't come out in different ways within the relationship that you're
Or
in.
talk about it with your partner.
That's what I mean. Like, talk about it with your partner. You may not want to talk about it publicly, but talk about it with your partner. So
like serious. Like don't dance around it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, you know, one of the other things too, you can't manage how people process or what they say. So you have to let people do stuff in baby steps. But I'm going to ask you guys, like, for me, I need to know what sites are for hookups versus.
Well, there's one called BuyCupid. I mean, I know the guys talked about it. There's one called BuyCupid for people who like both or everything. Really, it's not just for hetero. It's not just for gay or bisexual. It's for all the in betweens, right? So there's so much. I mean, I consider myself just fluid. I like the person. If there's an energy between the two.
Oh, we lost her.
Jessie, she lives in beautiful laws. So the thing is, when we
get the Xfinity, girl.
I think a lot of times people are in the wrong website for what it is that they want, right? And so that's why I was like, you know, if you want to hook up with somebody for the night, where should people go if it's just a one night hookup?
Well, I think you can find that on all the sites. I mean, it just
really,
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're serious?
A bar?
What do you guys see?
We're talking about online. Kick, the Kick app has been like crazy lately. I have a few friends that. Yeah, it's crazy because I know, right? Why do I know that? It's not like I do the hookups because I'm in a relationship now, but it's been weird because there's like my groups of friends and some of them are like in the sexually open spaces, and we keep this group chat or whatever so it doesn't get messed up with our regular stuff. And I get these spams all the time about people like wanting to hook up and connect or whatever. And people that are fluid, BuyCupid, and then the whole swinger websites like Swing Life, whatever. Even though it's supposed to be heterosexual, there's a lot. Women, of course, it's just a given. They're gonna swing both ways, anyways. But there's been a lot of men too. So I don't know. I think it's just anything these days.
So that, you know, I think that's very confusing for some people in a sense of it's confusing in a sense of, for me, I'm just trying to figure out why would you go to a hookup website when you want a long-term relationship? Have you guys found that some people try to turn a hookup into a regular thing?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think we've all come across that person.
For sure.
You have a good time with them.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's strictly sexual. They come back for more. You have more sex with them, and then in somebody's head, they get
ignore Jessie. Just ignore her.
Dating.
So in their mind, you're dating.
In their mind, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's been 3 hookups. Now you're dating.
Right.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, Scott. So basically, it's 3 hookups, and now you're dating.
Have you not heard the term with the lesbians and the U-Haul culture? Like they go by the 3rd date, like she pulling up to your house with the U-Haul.
Moving in.
Like, are you serious?
U-Hauling. That's like a whole lesbian thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
They talk about it all the time. They move fast.
It's very prevalent in that older lesbian community. Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you, this is a question not for you, Jessie, but for the guys. Do you think lesbian women are more communal than gay men in that sense? Like they're very quick to commune with another person because
100%.
of their.
I think it's because they're female, and there's 2. You know, like all the women I know are.
Chef, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's like 2 dates and they're moving in.
What I'm saying is the female mind is different than the male mind. It's biological. It has nothing to do with. Do you know what I mean? So I think females are more caring. They're more open. They're more motherly,
loving, caring, nurturing.
Biological.
Okay.
So when you're lesbian and then you're looking for it coincides. You know, gay men were a little more tough. You know, we have a little bit more needs and wants.
Jeff, you're adorable.
So, we want to do it with everybody. So
yeah, do it to everybody.
I think men in general are. I mean, they want to hook up all the time.
Right.
So
it's sexual.
Yeah, they're just
straight and gay.
Let me ask you, so guys, is it harder to get in that committed relationship the older you are in the gay community or in the lesbian community, or both?
Scott, I can speak to it. I don't know if Scott can, but I've noticed there's a lot of ageism in my 50s. So at this point, I sometimes feel that I'm no longer part of that younger gay community because I'm not their choice. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then luckily we find our own tribe, you know what I mean? And the people that are similar to us, that like similar things in the gay world. But there is, and this happens, it happens outside the gay world too. Ageism is constant in my career,
Right.
in my friendships. You know, I know recently that I've been turned down for jobs because I'm way overqualified, but I'm also not 35. You know what I mean? And we work in such a visual medium.
All three of us do, actually.
Yeah.
They want somebody younger, and I totally get it. Like, they want somebody younger. It's because they're posting, and you know, the ageism works all over. But men are just horn dogs. I mean, it's just.
I think I'm a man.
Okay, so
It's in our
Scott,
head.
what
It's
about you?
biological.
Well,
So
to your
Scott,
point,
what about you?
to your point, Christine, I think that, you know, the gay sites in general are generally hookup sites. I mean, that's what most of the people are looking for. But I know lots of guys who have like found long-term committed, later got married relationships on Grindr or Scruff. So it happens.
Okay.
Mine was 10 years. I mean, I met Lou
Meet him on
10
Grindr.
years ago.
On Grindr? You and Lou
But
met on Grindr?
Jeff, you can't tell the story. We're not in that segment yet. Don't let the cat out the bag yet. Gee whiz. He's giving up all the juice right now. So Jeff, so to your point, a lot of those sites are set up because, okay, so folks, this is what we're saying. We always think men think differently, and they do think differently, whether they're gay or straight. They just think differently, right?
100%.
So what Jeff is saying is what? Like, the bottom line is you guys are going in for the hookup. If you find love in the middle of the hookup.
Well, so my strategy on Growler's very different than the average gay man. I put up the worst picture of me because if they like you ugly and you show up in person and you're even cuter, they're like, wow.
Okay,
you know,
That's brilliant, actually. That's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
I don't put up the toothless one, but like, you know, I put up the one that isn't. It doesn't have a filter. There's also on my Grindr that it's not about sex.
Okay.
So it could be, but at the specific point where I'm on it, I'm not looking to fuck anybody. But
right.
If it happens, sure, great. But I find that weeds out a whole. Do you know what I mean? A whole different class of people. If they see you as the real person and they're interested in that, then I continue.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
Okay, so that's
I
a
also
great
sometimes lie about my age. I also tell people I'm 62 instead of 52. Because then when they meet me in person, they're like, shit,
There you go.
good.
They're like, you're hot. Oh my God.
So
But
you
you're
know what?
60,
I
so
think so, Scott, my question to you is this. Like, I've seen your Instagram.
Yeah.
So if I was a guy and I saw your Instagram, I would be, because you're like hot, and I don't even forget age. I would just be like, he's hot. What's up? If I was a guy, because I'm a woman and I'm already, I tell you that all the time. Like, I just think you're hot. So this is the thing. How do you decipher what's a legitimate relationship when people are coming at you? Because you are like GQ model cover ready all the time.
All the picture up the DM.
Like, how do you manage that?
I mean, you just have to, you take them one at a time. You just got to meet somebody and figure out what the hell the deal is. I mean, I don't think it's any more complicated than that. I mean, and I probably get more people that, hit me up on Instagram than anything else.
I would think so.
Like I meet more people through Instagram as far as an online platform would be through Instagram.
Do you think the people that are DMing you on Instagram are crossbreeding? And crossbreeding, I mean, is they find you on Instagram and then they're looking for you elsewhere. They're looking for you on Facebook. They're looking for you on Growler.
I'm sure that happens. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I've done that. I've done that.
Do you know what I mean? Because
so they're like doing their research to find out who he is and what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Most people, if you're generally interested in somebody, you crossbreed.
For sure.
Scott's hot. I'm gonna obviously he's
You
not
gotta check and see because you can scan. Okay, we'll talk.
Make sure he has a job and shit.
Well,
exactly.
I have friends who will scroll other friends' lists
to see if they right.
Oh yeah.
So much
All right. So listen, folks, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we want to make sure that Scott isn't being, scroll through, because I'm gonna tell you what they do in tech world to find your face anywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Right.
Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going.
Okay. Hold up. Yeah. I'm chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them flop, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes. Niggas floss, I'm really pulling strings for the pound cake. I see you went for a puppet in the clown face for a little wage. That shit, the talk of the town is late. Still me, I never switch.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Loving how you wind up for me. Tonight is all on me. Mash up the place for me. Yeah, yeah. She just wanna highlight. Ooh, that body talk to me. I need a taste, baby. Loving the way you move around me. No more delay. No, you can wait to shut it down. Won't you show me how you work it? I can't find no flaws, you perfect. 'Cause every time that you come around my way, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. And every time that you come across my mind, I keep falling again.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's to Love. We're on our conversation and our community, our conversation. This has been the most interesting conversation I think that I've had all week. Like, I don't do a week like in like Sunday to Sunday, because I think being I talk to Jessie, so nothing ever shocks me or surprises me, and we talk about everything. Jessie and I, we talk about everything. If I got a problem going on, I just open up my shirt, look at it. What should we be doing? Like, me and Jessie, we just talk. Okay.
You
I
just
wanna
made
be
it sound
real.
like it. Show me your boobs.
I do, and I did, because I had a problem. Anybody, if you don't know,
Shit a nip out.
I had double mastectomy on my chest, so I had a problem with a scar and some pain. And I just say, I said, Jessie, can you look at this and like tell me what's going on? So we talk about everything. But one of the things that I think that kind of perpetuates these conversations in heterosexual world is that people somehow want to separate. Well, they don't want to separate. They look at who you're doing instead of what you're doing. And that bothers me. So to me, it's a big conversation, but it's not a big conversation to me, but it's everybody else. That's why we're doing it. But the other thing is, I found that a lot of my friends are swingers. I found that a lot of my friends, one person in a relationship is bisexual. I found that a lot of them are married on paper, but live totally separate lives, right? So the thing is that we have so many secrets. And to your point, Jeff, just be who you are and be okay with it. Because when you're living like your best life, you're living your happy life, right? So to me, just do it. So I'm going to tell you, Jeff, right now, you cracked me up when you was like, I just put the worst picture of me out there. And when they see me in person, it's like golden. At that point, it's like, I'm looking good.
Yes.
We're stuck in this idea, and it's really been horrible the last 20 years, of what we all should be and what we all should look
Right.
like. And you know, I should be this person and you should look like that person. And it's complete bullshit. Now,
And they're all
granted,
trying to look
you
the
know,
same, right? Everybody's
Right.
trying to look the same.
And
we're
I
lucky
think a
enough
lot
now. I mean, if
social media is horrible for that.
oh,
Listen, I didn't know until I was with Jessie that Snapchat would make me look beautiful.
You're welcome.
I just want to say TNT is Tim from Real Talk with the Men. See how the cast support one another. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and checking in with fellow cast members on the 5Fs to Love network. I didn't know about Snapchat. So like she took some pictures of me and sent them to me. I was like, oh my God, I look amazing, right?
I
right.
had
But the
4
thing is-
kids, so you know.
So, but the
kids.
thing is, when you look at social media, people want to give you this projection that their life is great, everything is wonderful, there's nothing wrong. So, you know, Jeff, when talking to you, it's like you were so transparent. You were like, yeah, I met my last husband online and we were together for 10 years and this is what happened. So I'm not going to let the cat out the bag because number one, I thought what you were saying was hilarious, but I didn't want to laugh because I know there's an emotional attachment. When you were saying the ink is not even dry,
Oh,
I was like, this
went
was
on a
like,
date the other night and we talked about it.
okay, so if you can't share your story, how you found your one true love,
Well,
but it ended.
I've had many true loves. I don't believe that we should only have one. I
I
don't.
like that.
That's, do you know what I mean? I still love my first husband from 30 years ago. He calls me all the time. We talk. We're not we have a relationship. We don't have a sexual component.
Okay.
I had just ended my second relationship. Said we're done. We were still living together. And I thought, oh, I'm going to try the apps. All the kids are doing it. This was 10 years ago, April 19th. So it was a Sunday night. Downloaded them. Beep, beep, beep. I had a Monday date. I had a Wednesday date. And I had a Friday date. So Monday I went out with this guy and he was a drip and it was kind of boring. Whatever. It wasn't horrible. Wednesday didn't even show up. Cold, stone, didn't bother to even come to the date. And Lauren or Lou was my Friday night. And that was it. I was like, hey, this is great. Super cute, super fun. We ended up going to Red Coat Tavern for a burger and then we had drinks.
Don't you love Red Coat?
Red Coat, yeah.
We love Red Coat.
But I love the lighting.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to tell you. We love
And
Red
those
Coat.
of you who haven't been, it's dark as fuck in there.
It's very
And honey,
museum lighting.
I've had a whole
It's
bunch of
that-
first dates over there.
It's that red lighting.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, when I lived in New York, we had one of those spa bathrooms, and it had that red light. We called it the Tony Ward light because it made you look gorgeous. Like, wow! And Red Coat has Tony Ward lighting. Like
It does.
Go in, everybody looks sexy. So
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
first date.
Sultry.
He goes away to Chicago or something weird.
Mhm.
It's about a week later, and he says to me, because he's like, "Will you get off the apps?" He's like, "I only want to date you." I'm like,
Okay.
okay, and that was it. 10 years later.
Wow.
Super simple.
I did not know that.
That's
Yeah, it was really
beautiful.
easy.
That happens a lot in the gay, in the gay world. When you both say you're going to get off the apps, that's like something's happening.
Well, that's
Okay,
That's
so that's
big.
serious.
And
So
just
that's like
the
we're having a serious relationship.
I mean, unless you're in a relationship where you're both okay still being on it, that's a conversation you have to have. But otherwise,
I mean, he said, "I only want to date you. Get off the apps." I'm like, cool, great, easy. But that's who I am. So, but when we decided recently to part ways and into divorce, he said to me, "Do you mind if I date somebody?" Well, go for it. It's in your best interest now because now we actually were discussing it this evening and laughing like, oh, what's it like?
Wait a minute,
back in the
you're-
dating game.
You're
and
divorced.
That's so
and you guys are
amazing.
friends.
That's so amazing. I just
I
love
have to.
that.
Like he might
so
not
much.
be friends with me in 5 years, but I'll still be friends with him.
I love that. I like your attitude about
love
it.
it.
Yeah. This is the thing. How do you love somebody for so long?
Right.
And then discard them? Like I have
Right.
these great
That's-
friends
yeah.
who've divorced. I don't talk to my ex. I'm like, are you fucking nuts? Like,
That's my situation. I mean, people ask me if I talk to him, and I'm just like, it's not because of me, but
Right.
and that's why I think over communicate the fuck out of your life, because there were conversations that I thought we were communicating one thing, and apparently he didn't think so, or maybe because some information or whatever. But I just feel like, there was always genuine love and respect and devotion on my part. I sacrificed a lot, actually. And it just hurts me that like the friendship element is not there, because I'm friends with every one of my other exes. And they still call me and check in on me, and they read in the news or whatever. I'm not married anymore. Where they're like, "Baby girl, you okay?" And it's just a very sad thing, and it all comes from the lack of true communication. And I think that's beautiful, Jeff. Huh?
I think it's bigger than that, Jessie. I think when people are in the relationship for the wrong reason, they get angry when you suddenly realize and you walk away. It's like they knew the whole time, but it's like, Panine, now you figured out, now I'm mad at you because you're leaving me and I need you for this reason, but you're like, I don't want to fulfill that position or that role anymore. And I think that's what happens. So now I'm going to be honest with you. I think the gay guys, y'all got messy breakups. I'm going to be honest. I think I got real. No, most gay men get a little messy.
They can be.
It can be. I mean, I've seen it get ugly.
I've seen it. It's like ugly.
Yeah. I mean, especially
and the stalking that they do on social media. Scotty, one of Scotty's exes was like all up on my TikTok the other day, but they don't like anything. But there's a whole button where you can see who's looking at your shit. And this little bitch is looking at all my shit, but like creeping around. I'm like, bitch, I see you. So of course I text him. Look who's on my TikTok.
So that's the thing.
My goal in the end of this relationship that I'm currently in is for his happiness.
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
I want him to be, he's already successful in his business life. Very successful. He's still attractive. You know what I mean? Like,
is he younger than
still
you?
got it going. I want him to be successful in his next relationship.
Okay, Jeff, is he younger than you?
He is. So my first two husbands were 25 years older. So I was 30, David was 55, and then
I did not know that.
Yeah, they were always older. So when I first started to date Lou, I was a little like, ooh, younger. You know what I mean? I've always been, it's not even attracted to older men, attracted to their intellect. I need something here. I need to communicate and share things that older men know better or knew better that I know now. He was younger. I don't really think that really had nothing to do with our breakup. It's just he was younger, and the relationship was different, and that's what I liked about it. It was different than my prior two. It's the best relationship I've ever had. We are extremely honest, and sometimes that hurts. Like the other day, we had a conversation. And I said that was really mean, and then he apologized. So we have, being really honest in a relationship is really tricky because you can hurt people's feelings really quickly. But what we've learned is to take a little time. So we'll have a little spat. We had a spat in the car on the way here. You know what I mean? About something stupid, and then by the time we got home, we were joking around about it. Like,
okay, so that's a good
we
reason.
could be miserable the whole
Why
night.
should you guys?
This is what happened.
So Jeff, can you guys be roommates?
Oh, we're living together.
No, I mean because it seemed like you should be roommates because you love each other so much. You just like each other.
No, I don't want to live with him.
Long term.
What did you say?
We're very different people. I'm very I could hang out in a closet for the whole weekend and be completely happy with my books. And I like being alone. And he's completely the opposite. He wants to be out. He wants to be doing things. He likes to be with people. I'm sometimes a big loner. So this is, for me, it's going to be strange for him. He's, like I said at dinner, we were joking because he's dating or went on a date with this guy. And I was like, well, what do you think? What do you guys going out again?
Okay, so look, that's the question.
How do you feel?
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I think it's great. I want
You're
him,
so freaking
I want
amazing.
him to be fucking happy. And if that's
if it was Jessie would punch him in the throat.
No, I would be like, as long as she wasn't as cute as me, I'd be fine.
Did you hear that? Good. Jessie would punch him in the throat.
I'd be like, yeah.
He had asked me last week, and I said, sure, go for it. Wow. You have to, I don't want to be hurt. I've already been hurt from this relationship. I need positivity. I need movement. I want to move forward. I want him to succeed. I want him to succeed in everything that he hasn't succeeded in. Not that our relationship wasn't successful, but we're both at this point looking for something that the other person can't meet. So, if he needs that, I'm all game for it. Now, if that motherfucker does something to him, you better believe I'll be after him because I love him. I mean, it's simple.
Oh my gosh.
It's so simple. But sometimes we all get caught up, like the divorce. Our divorce is completely amicable. Even our lawyer was like, this is the easiest divorce I've ever done. I'm like, what are we going to, we don't have children. So there's nothing really to fight over. Do you know what I mean? And we're not going to fight over money because that's even dumber. So like at this point, we go this way, he goes that way. We remain friends. He's actually coming. We're doing our family reunion in July in Michigan together. Like he's going to come stay at the house, and
that's great.
He recently found out he had a sister. I don't know if I told you this, Jessie.
No.
Yes, his father was a whore.
So was mine.
Back in 1948.
Look, before you guys get into whorism of parents, very
Hoary dad.
Just the hoariness. We got to play a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to continue our conversation about our parents who have been whores.
Oh my God.
No, we're not.
Watch this.
No, when we come back, honestly, we're going to talk about, breakups and how you handle those breakups, whether they're online or you've met the person face to face, because that's a big thing. And I think the lesson I want to try to give people, especially the younger people who watch this, you got to handle breakups a little bit better than what we're doing. They're getting a little messy. So we got to be a little bit more mature about this. So Scott, we're going to talk about your breakup. I think it was very amicable the way you handled it. I like your spiritedness behind it. Plus, looking back on it, you were hot like fire. So I don't even know why I don't even know what happened.
Stop it already.
They hate for me to say that. We'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to our conversation, our community. I just want to say, I do well with breakups. I think the people I break up with don't do well. So this is how I do it. When I know I'm going to break up with you, I get you this amazing parting gift. And I invite you out to dinner. Even if I have to fly and come see you, I fly and come see you because everybody knows I don't date in the state that I live in. And I fly out to where you are and I get you this beautiful parting gift. And I want us to end on friendship. So it's a good gift. Now, 9 times out of 10 is ending well.
Are you ending the relationship or the friendship or both?
I'm ending the relationship. I want to continue the friendship, i.e. the excellent parting gift. Okay. I gave away
What's
a
the
nice
gift?
Louis Vuitton
Wait a
duffel
minute,
bag.
what's the gift?
I figured, right, you can't really hate a person when they gave you a nice Louis Vuitton duffel bag.
Ooh,
Right? I
Right.
want to date Christine.
Shit, I might start dating her. Damn it.
right.
So my
You
thing
looking
is
for a
like,
date,
so,
Christine?
so Jeff, now you want to switch over? Huh? Now you want to switch over and start dating me? Don't
I
you
mean,
do
You
it?
know,
For an
when
LV
you're
bag.
young,
Wait a minute,
I think we've all
Scott,
had
don't
sex with
join in
women.
with Jeff.
You know, when you're young, well, when I was young, you're sexual. You just want to have sex. You didn't care
Right.
who it was with. And then you have sex with the guy and you're like, oh.
Have you had sex with women, Jeff?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I
He
did
said
not
yeah, a long
know
time ago.
that.
You know,
Okay,
but it's you're a kid. You're a kid.
and that's
So, like
different.
that sexual experience when you're 12 or 14 or what, it's just different. It's just not the sex you're having as an adult. It's just totally
It's
different.
like trial and error.
Right. I mean, it's just, it's awkward.
It's
and,
awkward.
you know, I think I had a
I don't think I
three-way
really
once
had,
with this woman
like-
and this other dude
Yeah,
in
it
this
doesn't
weird
count.
basement.
It doesn't count.
Like, strange.
It
Basement.
doesn't count.
Three-way in
young.
a basement. I love
Yeah.
that.
Lincoln Park.
So Scott,
I
I'm
just
gonna
specifically
ask you a
remember.
question.
That's hot.
So Scott, I'm gonna
Lincoln
ask you a
Park three-way.
question about your last breakup or any breakup. We don't have to go with the last, just in case the last person's watching. But any breakup that you've had and how you've handled it, because you seem like a pretty amicable person.
Well, we can talk about the last one I was in.
Okay.
I was blindsided by it. You know, you think you've got this perfect relationship, everything's great, moving right along. And I had been in relationships for 30 some years. And then I took some time to just regroup and be off the market for 4 or 5 years, and I was ready to get back in. And I think I was really ready for, a long-term relationship. And that's where I thought we were going. And then out of the blue, hey, I don't think this is working out. It's not you, it's me. You're perfect. You're great. You're, all of that. So it was really difficult for me at the beginning. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And it's always, what did I do? What could I have done better? And that, I think I put it all on me. And it took me, Jessie knows, it's a long time to figure out. I just wasn't his person. And that's okay. Different stage of his life. And I finally got to the point where I took all the good because what we had was great. And you got to walk away from it thinking, wow, I had this great experience with this person. I learned from this person. I grew from this person. This person had a great heart, funny, smart, but I'm not his person. And that's okay, right? But it took me a long time to get there. It took me a long time to get to that point because I thought this was it. I would tell Jessie every day, this is the one. I know this is the one. I'm ready. We're going places. And then boom, like a Mack truck hit me in the face.
Okay, so how long was it that you were into the relationship that he decided it's a Mack truck situation?
Only 7 months.
That's it?
That's it.
And he not even let's try and talk it through?
No. I mean, we kind of tried, but it was kind of like, I'm pulling that along. And it's
Right.
You can only do that so long. You're like, no, this is not going to work. And that doesn't make me feel good.
I just want to be clear. It was 100% him because you're amazing.
I mean, you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, there's always a two-way street. I asked the question, is there anything? And the answer was always no.
He just wasn't emotionally or mentally at the level you're at. You guys were just in two different stratospheres.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And the thought process.
Different points in our lives. I mean, it just, and it took me a long time to figure out it wasn't me. And it really was. He was at a different place and he wanted different things than I did. And that's okay. But it was really tough for me. Really tough.
That's very heartbreaking to hear you say that, because I think a lot of times we go through relationships, and Jessie and I, we talked about, her relationships, because Jessie does a great job of counseling me. It's so funny because I counsel everybody, and Jessie has become my go-to person. Like I said, if you show one of your girlfriends your breast, then you can tell them anything. Okay, you can tell them anything
because a boob is a boob.
A boob is a boob, but I want to be clear. Like Jessie's breasts are amazing, so I was asking her legitimate questions.
They were super expensive.
Was she? What did you say? You have one on each side?
A Maserati on each tit.
Oh my God.
So like Holly and Holly, which is a mutual, like her friend Holly, who's on Real Talk with the Ladies. One of the things Holly and I talked about was getting our breasts redone after having surgery. Right? We both had surgeries on our chest.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
we
that's
were all cancer survivors.
Exactly. And so I didn't think it was odd for me to be like, all right, Jessie, look at these after they've been chopped up. What do you think? I've got, this going on. But it's so funny because you become very vulnerable in that minute. And so I'm looking at the vulnerability that I'm showing her. But at the same time, like you were saying, Scott, I'm in a relationship and I'm putting up blocks because I'm still wearing wife beaters, tank tops to bed because I don't want anybody to see my chest. You get what I'm saying? So to me, I had already walked into that relationship guarded. And I wasn't going to, because how do I show Jessie and I won't show you? And so what I'm saying to you is that guy walked into the relationship with these invisible guards up that you didn't even know. Right. And you're thinking you're dealing with the real him. Honey, he had a wife beater on. That's all I'm saying. He had a wife beater on, Scott.
Yeah. Well,
and you just didn't know he had it on.
And I look back at that and I think, why didn't I, how could I have not known that this was coming, right? When you think something's perfect, I don't know what kind of blinders I had.
Because he was totally perfect. We all did.
Yeah.
We saw you. We saw him.
Listen,
saw
like Jeff said, we're still friends. We talk here and there. I wish him nothing but the best. We used above all, he used to make me laugh all the time.
Well, who knows?
He would say.
What you might run into him 5 years from now, skiing in Maritz, and there it is again.
There you go.
You never know. You never know. I always believe in those.
Who the hell even know where Maritz is?
Who, me?
No, most people don't even know where Maritz is.
Oh.
Like skiing in Maritz.
Or at the Walmart. Or, I can't even tell you how many tricks I've run into in the airport.
But
he said Walmart and a Target.
You never know. I've run into the weirdest people that I haven't seen. I was on a flight. I don't know. We were coming back from Palm Springs or something. And we ran into somebody that I knew 30 years ago in the Palm Springs airport.
Wow.
You never know. And
to
me, there's something romantic about that.
Yeah.
You shared this 7 months and it didn't work.
Right.
Well, maybe.
But I also know that at the to your point, it wasn't messy. I mean, it didn't end the way I wanted it to end, but I have no ill will towards him. It just wasn't our timing. It wasn't the right time for us. But I know
better in 10 years.
I know in my heart we have some sort of connection. I don't know what it is, but we do.
Oh, that's beautiful. Right. And you know what? Let me tell you, whoever you were, you should have ended that whole relationship by giving Scott a Louis Vuitton duffel bag.
A duffel bag.
Okay.
Should have taken you to dinner, damn it.
Folks, we got to start into relationships with great parting gifts. So now, all jokes aside, real conversation. And I want to talk to each one of you about this. I'm going to take the other two out the frame and I'm going to ask you this one question. If you had to tell someone right now what you truly felt about them, what would you tell them? And how would you say to them that you want them and only them? I think a lot of times we don't tell people what we want and what we expect. So my question is, and Jessie, I'm going to start with you. If you had to tell your partner right now what you want and what you expect, what would it be? And folks, this is a lesson in you basically understanding how to be a better communicator. It's not to put any of them on the spot. It's to show you how to be a better and a more effective communicator, whether it be online or in person, so you can get what you expect out of these relationships. Okay, so
my partner today or my old one?
It can be your old one.
Well, with my ex, I would say that I wish that we would talk in real terms and not dance around subjects. I wish that we would
move over just a little bit so we get your whole beautiful face. There we go. Okay, now what are you saying?
With my ex, I would have said, number one, I always love and respect him in all the different ways, but I wish that we would have communicated in ways that was completely and utterly open and sometimes raw and uncomfortable. So I would have rather had 20 minutes worth of uncomfortable conversation than 9 years of a relationship that blew up where we don't speak anymore, because there was parts of him that I love and miss still, and I know there's parts of me that I think he would miss me. Which is why he's so upset, because he just feels blindsided. And all this time I thought we had this unspoken thing all the time, and just the way he operated, people around him operated, and his family operated, nobody ever really said exact things that made people uncomfortable. And my whole entire life is uncomfortable to talk about, but I force it because it's real. But because with him, I just kind of fell into just going along with it, because my packaging and my surroundings were beautiful all the time. And just because your surroundings are beautiful, it doesn't mean there's ugly stuff underneath, because you're not telling the truth.
Jessie,
So just, does it make sense?
that was beautiful. All right. All right. So, Jeff, what would you say?
Well, Lou is in the next room right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that I love him. I will always love him. I will always try to achieve his happiness, whatever I can do to make him happy for the rest of his life, or the rest of my life, because he'll probably live longer than me because he's younger. That I appreciate the beautiful 10 years that we had, and that I love him, and I'll always love him. And I tell him that all the time. Like, the love never changes. Did you hear that?
What did he say?
You better start putting out. Our sexual relationship has ended when we decided to get a divorce. But
okay, but he just told you, Jeff, you better start putting out. You're there for another couple months. You better start putting
out. But I love him, and that is never going to change. So in when we're 70 and rotting in the desert in Palm Springs, and he calls me and says, "I need your help," I will be there, or do whatever I can to help him. That never changes, and that's always been prevalent in all my relationships, all my long-term relationships. Is how do you cohabitate and sleep with and love and nurture somebody for so long, and then just drop them like hot potato and never talk to them again? So I don't. It's not possible for me to do that. So,
Jeff, I'm going to tell you, I know you came on as a guest, but I want to be totally transparent with you. And I can see Jessie in the green room. You're welcome to come back anytime, honey, on our community hour conversation. You have been like a breath of fresh air, and I really appreciate your transparency. And you better start putting out.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so Scott, this is your platform. What would you say?
I'm going to be much more brief than the other two. This applies to any relationship. In from how I feel, I expect honesty, and I want unconditional love.
I don't even know why I want to get emotional after you said that.
To me, it's that simple, and I would apply that to any of my former relationships and any relationship that I'm going into. I want unconditional love, and I expect honesty.
I love that. When you guys heard it, you're looking at talking to Scott, you got to bring it, because he wants what he wants. But by the way, it's got to come in a nice package, though. I just want to be clear on that packaging. He's like GQ model magazine ready, so you got to come with the right packaging. Scott, as always, honey, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure,
you guys are an amazing cast. You, Jessie, and in the doc. And like I said, Jeff is welcome back anytime. So I'm going to close out this segment of our community hour conversation. I'm going to tell you, it's such a privilege just to be invited to have these conversations. And I think that for me, it keeps me very abreast and very aware of what true love is. When you're in a situation and you've got to work against all odds with everything that's going on around you, still to commit to that person and create such a strong bond, to me, those are a group of people I want to learn from. And I hope when you watch this, you understand our community, our conversation, and how you can see love in everything and everyone. Folks, It's a big world out there. So just remember, the conversation goes beyond you and everything around you. Thanks again for joining us here on the 5F's to Love Network. Every Monday, we have our community, our conversation with the LGBTQ. See you guys next Monday. And trust me, it's going to be hot. So you better join us.